Hello, welcome back. In recent years, Joni Lamb has become a household name due to her influence in the Christian community, primarily through her role as the co-founder and host of Joni Table Talk and her association with the Christian network Daystar Television. Her carefully curated public image has earned her a devoted following and admiration from many. However, recent developments have brought to light a side of Lamb that has been shrouded in secrecy, causing a stir among her followers and critics alike. For years, Joni Lamb has been seen as a beacon of faith, a woman of integrity whose efforts have inspired countless people across the world. But as more information has emerged, disturbing questions about her private life have come to the surface. The first major revelation came through an insider's account, claiming that Lamb had been involved in a series of questionable financial decisions that benefited herself and her family, potentially at the expense of those who trusted her. Allegedly, Lamb used her position within Daystar to funnel large sums of money into her own personal projects, all while maintaining the facade of a philanthropic, selfless public figure. The depth of these claims has shocked many who considered Lamb a role model in both her professional and personal life. Insiders have now shared behind-the-scenes stories of extravagant spending, high-end vacations, and financial dealings that raise red flags about how donations were being managed. While Joni Lamb has not publicly addressed every accusation, the silence surrounding some of these matters has only added fuel to the fire, leading people to question the true nature of her success. As the revelations grew more serious, allegations of cover-ups began to surface. Critics argue that Lamb and her associates worked tirelessly to hide these details from the public eye, going as far as manipulating certain media portrayals to distract from growing concerns. A pattern of selective transparency has raised suspicions, with many pointing to Lamb's tight control over her image in the media. A number of former employees have spoken anonymously, recounting instances where they were asked to disregard certain unethical practices or to remain quiet about irregularities within the organization. From reports of financial mismanagement to claims of favoritism, the alleged cover-ups paint a troubling picture of the woman once revered as a paragon of virtue. What makes the situation even more controversial is the fact that Joni Lamb built her reputation on the premise of religious faith and integrity. Many of her followers were drawn to her for her messages of hope, healing, and service to others. To discover that she may have been living a double life has led to accusations of hypocrisy. For some, these revelations are a stark contradiction to the values she espoused on her television shows. Lamb's public persona, centered around faith, humility, and charity, stands in stark contrast to the claims being made about her private dealings. This contradiction has left many questioning the authenticity of her message and whether it was simply a carefully constructed narrative designed to further her career. As the fallout from these exposes continues, Lamb's reputation hangs in the balance. Her followers, once loyal and unwavering, now find themselves grappling with the complexities of what it means to support a public figure who may have hidden significant flaws behind a polished image. Some have already distanced themselves from Lamb, while others are holding out hope that there may be more to the story, perhaps an explanation or a defense that will clear her name. For Joni Lamb, the road ahead is uncertain. The trust she once commanded is now in jeopardy, and it remains to be seen whether she can recover from these revelations. As with many public figures caught in scandals, the true test will be how she responds in the coming months. Will she address the allegations directly and seek redemption, or will she continue to deflect and ignore the questions swirling around her? The truth, as it often does, may not be as clear-cut as it seems. But for now, the cover-ups have been exposed, and the public is waiting for answers. Joni Lamb has long been regarded as one of the most influential and prominent figures in the Christian television community. As the co-founder and face of Daystar Television, along with her role as the host of Joni Table Talk, she cultivated an image of a devout, caring woman dedicated to uplifting others and spreading messages of faith, hope, and love. With an ever-growing following, she became a trusted voice for millions. But beneath the surface of this carefully constructed public persona, troubling secrets have now come to light, secrets that could shatter the reputation of this once revered leader. While Lamb's public life was filled with television appearances, inspirational speeches, and fundraising campaigns, the details of her private dealings have begun to surface, exposing a starkly different reality. According to multiple sources close to Daystar and insiders within the Christian media industry, Lamb's rise to prominence may have been paved with not just faith, but questionable financial practices. One of the most disturbing revelations came from a whistleblower claiming that Lamb, along with some of her closest associates, allegedly used Daystar's nonprofit status to benefit financially in ways that appeared unethical, donations which were meant for the support of the ministries, outreach programs, and charitable endeavors are said to have been misdirected toward personal ventures and luxury expenditures. These insiders have pointed to an elaborate system that allowed Lamb to funnel funds for personal expenses, such as high-end vacations, luxury cars, and even private events, all under the guise of ministry-related activities. As more details emerge, questions about financial transparency have intensified. While it is not uncommon for large organizations to face scrutiny over financial practices, the sheer scale of what has been revealed suggests that Lamb may have crossed a line between ministry and self-interest. Despite numerous reports and claims, Lamb has yet to fully address these issues in any significant way, and her silence is raising eyebrows. The most troubling aspect of this entire situation is the alleged effort to cover up the truth. Insiders have spoken out about a systemic attempt to manipulate public perception and suppress any criticism or negative stories about Lamb's financial dealings. According to these sources, Lamb and her inner circle actively worked to intimidate or discredit those who attempted to challenge the status quo. Former employees have reported being asked to look the other way when irregularities arose, and some have claimed they were pressured to silence concerns regarding Lamb's personal use of ministry funds. One former Daystar employee recounted how they were instructed to delete financial documents and records that might have raised suspicions about the mismanagement of funds. Others shared their experiences of being personally threatened with legal action if they spoke out against the network or Lamb's practices. It became apparent that Lamb's image was more important than any potential consequences for the truth. In addition, the network allegedly went to great lengths to distract the public from any negative press. Public statements from Lamb often emphasized her devotion to charitable work and her commitment to spreading the gospel, while the behind-the-scenes operations painted a vastly different picture. For many, the deception was far-reaching, and they felt manipulated into supporting a narrative that was not aligned with the reality of Lamb's actions. As the allegations continue to mount, many of Joni Lamb supporters are grappling with feelings of disillusionment. For years, Lamb's ministry has been synonymous with purity, faith, and good intentions. She was seen as a trusted figure, someone who lived her life according to biblical principles, offering wisdom and support to those in need. Lamb's TV programs often focused on uplifting people, fostering positive change, and sharing the message of Christ's love. However, the recent revelations have exposed a glaring contradiction between Lamb's public statements and the way she allegedly conducted herself privately. For some, this disparity feels like a betrayal, as they had placed their faith not just in her message but in her integrity. The idea that someone so influential within the Christian community could engage in such behavior has led to a crisis of faith for many of her viewers. One of the core accusations of hypocrisy centers around Lamb's public claims of living with less for the sake of the ministry, all while indulging in an extravagant lifestyle funded by donations meant to support those in need. Critics have noted the irony in her portraying herself as a humble servant of God, while evidence suggests she lived far beyond the means of ordinary believers she sought to reach. This hypocrisy extends beyond financial matters. Lamb's relationships with her colleagues and family members have also come under scrutiny, with some claiming that her image of a family-focused ministry was a mere facade. Behind closed doors, Lamb is alleged to have wielded control over her network and relationships in ways that conflicted with the values of mutual respect and humility that she espoused. With these revelations now out in the open, Joni Lamb faces an uncertain future. As the public begins to question her character and integrity, many are reconsidering their support for her and Daystar Television. Former followers are voicing their concerns on social media, expressing disappointment in a woman they once revered. Some have accused Lamb of betraying the very values she preached, while others feel betrayed by Their own naivety in trusting her. The scandal has also raised broader questions about the role of Christian media networks and their leaders. As more leaders within the religious sector are scrutinized for their financial dealings, the question of accountability has become central. Can religious figures maintain their credibility when their actions contradict the teachings they promote? Will the faith community demand more transparency, or will these revelations be swept under the rug in favor of preserving the image of powerful religious organizations? As for Lamb, she remains silent on many of the most serious accusations, with only vague statements about her commitment to serving God and her desire to continue her work with Daystar. Whether her audience will continue to support her or whether this scandal marks the beginning of the end for her career is still uncertain. The scandal surrounding Joni Lamb is far from over, and as the truth continues to unfold, the public will undoubtedly demand further answers. For those who once looked up to her as a spiritual leader, the question now is whether Lamb can ever rebuild the trust she's lost. Can she offer a genuine explanation for the accusations, or will she remain in denial, attempting to cover up her past actions? Only time will tell if Lamb can weather the storm. For now, the truth is out in the open, and those who once placed their faith in her are left to navigate the complex reality of a woman they thought they knew. As the fallout continues, one thing is clear: the days of unquestioning loyalty to Joni Lamb may be numbered.